You want me to move any of this, or are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rich, and thank you. It really is an honor to be with you here today to recognize the important work of Blanchet House, that critical work to lend a helping hand, which is our theme today, to those most in need. And I can see, as you can see, what a difference it makes to the people you are serving. I saw it in the faces of the people we were serving lunch to when my team went in to the cafe one day for a volunteer project. And then I saw it in the faces of the men at the farm in Yamhill County. You could see what a difference it makes to give them hope. And I know we will see that in the women's shelter when it opens soon in Portland and help fill that really important gap. So your work is truly making a difference here in Oregon, and it is inspiring. I want to recognize that we're in a very difficult and challenging time in our country. The cuts and the threats to federal funding mean that state and local governments are being asked to make some very challenging budget decisions that could reduce essential services. This Trump administration and Elon Musk are actually taking a hatchet to some key federal programs and purging some federal workforce that will really make a difference in our communities here, not just in Portland, but across the state and across the country. And really the threats to the funding that sustains the work of shelters and homelessness programs and service providers like Blanchet. These administration, both between Donald Trump and the Doge, they want to purge up to 50% of the HUD staff at Housing and Urban Development, which is really reckless and dangerous. There's a human cost to it. You know, we're always looking for smarter, better ways to do things, as Representative Dexter knows. This is neither smart nor better. It's taking a hatchet, and there will be a human cost to it. Individuals, families, veterans could be at risk of the wraparound support that is often supported with federal funding. So we must take a stand and absolutely stand here with Blanchet House today and other service providers for those who are either homeless or in need in our community. Without stable housing, everyone struggles. Some seek to divide and shun people who are experiencing homelessness and substance use disorder. But the vision of Blanchet House is this radical hospitality is a model that we should follow. So I currently have a package of housing legislation that draws inspiration from not only Blanchet House, but other effective Oregon programs. I have Build Housing with Care Act that will co-locate childcare with affordable housing. I have a federal Project Turnkey Act that will build on the successful Oregon model of using unused space for shelter and homes, and then the Start Housing Act, which is a bipartisan recovery housing act to bring a pilot program that's only available in some states, and we want it to be available in Oregon as well. This is a recovery housing program run through HUD. So as your partner in Congress, I will continue to advocate for evidence-based policies and resources to end homelessness, but also fight back against attempts to gut critical programs that make a difference. And I encourage all of you to speak up and be supportive of Blanchet House, but also let us know the stories of how what's happening with the cuts in federal funding are affecting you and your community as well. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting Blanchet House, and I look forward to the rest of the program.
Be joining us here today, Congresswoman Maxine Dexter to the stage. Please invite her to come on up. She's here to continue our conversation about impactful work being done in our community. Come on up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rich. And I'm always taller than these things, but it sounds like you can probably hear me. So very, very nice to be here. And what an amazing crowd supporting one of the most, I think, foundational and community-spirited organizations that I've personally had the pleasure to serve with. What Scott has created with a legacy of creation over many, many years has grown in a time of enormous need. Scott and his amazing wife Jill have been really strong partners with me since I started in public service, but it started long before that as a physician caring for our community. And what I was seeing is that my patients were struggling with things that I couldn't fix. You know, housing instability, lack of childcare while they're trying to make ends meet, and the inability to afford their premiums or their health care to take the recommendations that I have and make them help. We need food and shelter for everyone. This is a basic human need. And what Scott has been doing with the team at Blanchet House for years is really responding to an ever-growing, imminent problem that we all see every day on our streets, but they are there giving dignity to people in a way that was so moving for my family and I to experience as volunteers. And now being in office, it's an inspiration to know that each one of us has the power to do something really meaningful and important. And at this time, I don't know of anything more critical than coming together as a community and sharing in our support. So thank you to the Blanchet House team and to Scott for your leadership and steady commitment through some of the most challenging times in our downtown core. It's remarkable. I know Mayor Wilson and Scott are going to say a lot more about what's happening. I know that folks are scared about what's happening in DC, and with our dean of our delegation, Suzanne Bonamici, leading us, all I will say this morning is that you have a core group of dedicated, fearless women who are going to fight like hell for our community and our state and certainly our democracy. And there's lots of things we could talk about that we're doing, but the foundational issue is that we all are worried right now, and we are going to remain fearless and really focused on progress for our country. And right now it feels like that's in chaos, but we are going to be a steady hand with all of you. So thank you for not giving up on us, and thank you for your support.